Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in giving a warm Chapelhill welcome to Consul General Anat Sultan-Dadon.
Shalom. Good evening. As it is said in Psalm 133:1, how good and pleasant it is when God's people live together in unity. This evening here in Chapelhill Church, we gather in unity, standing together in support of Israel at a time when we are fighting to ensure our future. It is an honor and a privilege for me to be with you all here today. The heartwarming support that we receive from you is always moving, but it is of special significance at this moment in time. In a few short days, we will be marking 1 year since the horrific October 7th attack on Israel. It is a day that changed Israel forever and will go down in history as one of the darkest moments in the history of Israel and the Jewish people. We mourn the precious lives brutally taken and carry the pain for those who have not yet returned home. For 101 hostages, men, women, and children, October 7th is not over. They have been languishing in captivity for 359 days, enduring unimaginable horrors. Israel cannot truly heal until every one of them is home. This is not a political issue, but a human issue, and anyone who values life and humanity should demand their immediate and unconditional release. For almost a year now, Israel has been at war, a war not of our choosing. Our choice has always been the path of peace. But when we face an enemy that seeks to destroy us, we must fight to defend ourselves, as is the right and duty of any sovereign nation. We are determined to destroy Hamas's military capabilities, eliminate the terror threat from Gaza, address the threat that Hezbollah poses on our northern border, the threat from Iran and its other terror proxies, and ensure the safe return of our hostages. This war began with Hamas's October 7th attack, followed swiftly by assaults from Iran's other terror proxies. On October 8th, Hezbollah began attacking us from Lebanon, firing until today over 9,000 rockets at our civilians. Iran's terror proxies in Yemen, in Syria, in Iraq have since targeted us with missiles, and just this past April, Iran directly attacked us from its own territory. In recent days, we have shown that these attacks will not go unanswered. We will continue to strike at any terror threat to ensure that we can safely tuck our children into their beds at night, free from the threat of rockets or terrorists looming over them. We are fortunate to live in a time when the Jewish people have reclaimed their sovereignty in the land of Israel. It is a dream our ancestors longed for. For generations, Jews yearned for the day when we would have an army to protect ourselves. Today, the IDF, the Israel Defense Forces, fulfill that dream. We have the power to control our destiny and the strength to defend our people. October 7th was a stark reminder that evil still exists and that there are those who continue to seek our destruction. Yet we are not powerless. Our people's strength and resilience shone brightly on October 7th and ever since. Israelis rushed not away, but toward danger. Soldiers, civilians, security forces, risking their lives to save others, demonstrating the unbreakable commitment to one another that has defined our people for millennia. But while Israel has been at war for the past year, it is important to note that this is not just Israel's fight. Israel stands on the front line against a radical Islamist ideology that is a threat to all members of the free world. October 7th should have been a wake-up call to the international community, revealing that the jihadi fanatics driven by the Iranian terror state will never come to terms with Israel's existence in any borders. Hamas and Hezbollah's genocidal goals are echoes of Iran's threats. Hamas would not have been able to carry out the heinous terror attack that it carried out without the training, funding, equipping, and logistical support that it receives from Iran. Iran seeks a new fundamentalist regional order that it aims to promote through its many terror proxies. It must be held accountable. Decisive action must be taken to prevent it from continuing to undermine regional and global stability and peace. Shockingly, not all are demonstrating moral clarity in the face of evil. As we fight those who committed the largest massacre of Jews in a single day since the Holocaust, we see demonstrations all around the world supporting terror. Some deny the atrocities committed by Hamas, despite the terrorists proudly documenting their crimes for the world to see. International women's organizations, supposedly dedicated to the protection of women all around the world, have mostly been silent in the face of the gender-based atrocities committed against Israeli women and girls on October 7th. The silence by those who should be speaking up is deafening. Though we are witnessing a moral failure by too many in the international community who are siding with evil, confusing between right and wrong, we are not confused. The fact that Israel must defend itself does not mean that we are in the wrong. When faced with an enemy seeking our annihilation, we have two choices. We can fight or we can be slaughtered. We choose to fight. While the rhetoric of hate in the international arena may be loud, we have truth on our side. Our path is clear, grounded in the values that have guided us for millennia. We will fight and we will overcome this evil because we have no other choice. And when the time comes, and when we face leaders brave enough to choose the path of peace, as others in the region have done, we will pursue every avenue to achieve peace for the sake of all of our children. At this difficult time, we know that we do not stand alone. Israel has no better ally than the United States, and we are grateful for the unwavering friendship and support also expressed by you all, our Christian brothers and sisters. Thank you for your moral clarity and for standing up for Israel when it matters most. As Israel continues to face immense challenges, many of our friends are asking, what more can we do to help? I ask you tonight to use your voices, individually and collectively, loudly and proudly. As our soldiers fight the war on the ground, we all can take part in fighting the war in the international arena. Use your voice to share the truth about October 7th, because we are witnessing already denials and lies. Speak out against demonstrations that are falsely labeled pro-Palestinian. when they are, in fact, pro-terror, pro-murder, and pro-rape. Were these demonstrators truly pro-Palestinian, they would be using their voices to stand with us in calling to free Gaza from Hamas. Use your voice to hold university administrations accountable if they do not take a clear stand against anti-Semitism and hate. Use your voice to call out the media if, rather than reporting the news, it is serving as a propaganda tool in the service of hate and terror. Educate your children, grandchildren, neighbors, colleagues. Ignorance serves as fertile ground for those who seek to spread lies and sow hatred and division. Education and knowledge are the most effective tools in our battle for the truth. Use your voice to clarify the confusion that surrounds us. We must not be confused in distinguishing right from wrong, good from evil. Terror must be fought and eradicated wherever it exists for the sake of all of us, for the sake of humanity. Use your voice to remind the world that there are still 101 hostages languishing in torturous captivity. Every voice matters. You matter, and your support matters. There are many loud voices all around us who are shouting hatred with full conviction, but they are not the majority. The majority are those who observe in silence, who are not standing up for anything. When you all stand for what is right, loud and clear, you are leading the ways for those who are not yet standing. This week's Torah portion, Ha'azinu, offers a song of both warning and hope. It speaks of the challenges Israel will face, but also of God's unwavering support of his people. Ha'azinu reminds us that despite the trials and tribulations, the Jewish people will endure and return to the land promised to them. In this time of great challenge, we draw strength from these ancient words and the knowledge that God is watching over Israel. As I close, I would like to leave you with this. Our bond between Christian and Jews is stronger than ever. You are our partners in this sacred mission to protect the land and the people of Israel. Together, we stand on the side of life, of peace, and of truth. May God bless you all for your support, for your prayers, and for your friendship. May God bless the United States of America, and may God continue to bless the state of Israel. Thank you.